and today we are going to be talking about how to save your marriage. And I want to tell you this for sure that no one is qualified to give you the right or the proper counseling for your own marriage because every marriage tends to be different. But one thing for sure that it is easier for to make any marriage actually flourish is for us to understand the basics or the good foundation that makes every marriage actually work. Now, before I proceed to tell you the things that I think can help you to save your marriage, I'll actually first of all want to dive to this that the foundation of how you meet the person you decide to date is very important. Now, most people think that they can meet each other in clubs, in hotels, in a place that they know within themselves that tends to be immoral, and because they find connection, that means that love can actually prevail if they start the relationship or if they begin to fall in love and start sharing romantic relationship. Now, that's it doesn't mean that it can't happen, that there will be any concept of true love from such meeting yourself in such places, but it is very difficult to find people meeting themselves in a place where they consider within their own hearts. Now, if they both don't see that as immoral, then it doesn't count. But if one of them sees themselves meeting their spouse, who they later have connection with, in a place whereby they feel it is immoral, maybe due to their religion, maybe due to their concept of life, maybe due to their culture and tradition, but maybe just having fun and they meet that person and they connect with that person. Now that means the foundation of that marriage is actually going to be a bit shaky. Now, that doesn't also mean that there is no possibility of such marriage working. Now, when you go into marriage, everyone will tell you this for a fact. It takes you only 1 year for you to really feel the excitement of you getting married. After a year, regardless of if you're living in a mansion, regardless of if you don't have money, regardless of if you're middle class, low, or whatever, then things begin to spring up. Memories begin to pop up, and you begin to see, why am I married to this person? That question begin to pop up in everybody's mind. Now, we will try to fake it like nothing is actually going on. But people actually ask this question when they take their bath, when they are sleeping, when they are waking, when they are eating, when there's a little bit of fracas, when there's a little bit of miscommunication between both of them, between the two spouses, issues begin to pop up. And now you begin to ask yourself, most especially for men who tends to be traditional men, they begin to ask themselves questions like, why did I fall in love with this woman in the first place? Was this woman the qualified person for me to have gotten married? Wouldn't I have gotten someone better? Now, a woman also will be asking herself, is this the best guy I could have dated? What if I had gotten another guy? And these questions, when it begins to pop, this is a way we will say it's a tricky question from a human perspective, and it is a tricky side from the devil's perspective, because the devil is trying to put in something that would probably make you start questioning. And when I use the devil, I'm talking about due to the negative things that you guys are probably, or we'll call it challenges, that your marriage is going through. Now, these are the first steps of how marriage wants to break. Now, the moment you guys are able to overcome that, now you can start talking about how to save your marriage. That means when you're making a decision to get married to someone, it is very important that the foundation of how you meet that person is in the right place. Remember the song of Rihanna that says, we find a love in a hopeless place. And so what happens? The marriage or the relationship was crashed. Like there is no possibility of it working. Despite the fact that till now, Rihanna can still express her love to Chris Brown, and Chris Brown can still express her love to Rihanna, but they know they can't go ahead because they didn't meet each other in the right place. So the foundation of how you meet is very important. But sometimes when people find themselves getting married, even regardless of the fact that the foundation was shaky, what is the next thing that can save the marriage? These are the things I'm going to be listening, and I'm listening it basically because I'm a married person. I've been married for over 5 years. I've been with my spouse for over 8 years. Now I have two kids, and we are living happy married life. And when I use the word happy married life, it doesn't mean there are no challenges. It doesn't mean that you won't have disputes. But let us start with what are the important things. First, number one of the things that can save your marriage is communication. Now, I will tell you this for a fact that I am someone who hardly talks to people. And you're going to meet most men who don't actually express themselves. Now, when you meet a man who actually has a vision, now you would understand that he can have several communication with you, But mostly what happens is he tries to see things through vision for what he has, or the traditional way of men is that they mostly don't want to express everything about themselves, because we have learned from the part of life that, or from the past, that too much exploring or expressing ourselves make us look weak. For women, expressing themselves make them get help. For men, expressing themselves make them look weak. Every man learn this in their lifetime, except you meet a man who does not learn. But this is the lessons life has taught us. So one thing you are going to do, or one thing you can do in your relationship that can help you, is for you to establish communication with your man. If he's someone who don't like talking, now I can speak with my wife for over 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. But if she don't establish a communication that she's willing to speak, I can be silent for the whole day. And you're going to meet most men as someone somewhere like that. Now, in the first year of a relationship, the man is always still pursuing, the still rat game. But the moment he gets what he wants, some women would say, you are no more pursuing me the way you are pursuing me. You're no more communicating the way you're communicating. Now, this is reality. After 1 year, he's not going to be pursuing you the way you expect him to pursue you in the first place. Now, is something wrong with that? Absolutely not. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong with a man making a decision not to say anything. Now, a man wants to listen to you because he's willing to learn things from you. Now, what I'm actually saying also is not that he's not going to talk to you. It's just that his perspective about life begins to change because he's establishing a relationship that will probably last a lifetime. And so what he has learned in the past in his life begins to spring up at least 1 or 2 years once he gets into that relationship, that I have to hold some things back so I don't diminish myself in the presence of this woman. And this is why men withhold certain communication with women.